What's going on YouTube? GZTV here, back with another video, another big game of game ones in the playoffs, all the game ones in the book, and we have the second half of them for you guys today. I don't think I really have any news for you guys. Me and my cousin have been playing some Rust lately. I might stream it sometime, I don't know when. But just expect a recap every night. That'll be consistent. That'll be a consistent upload for me. That'll be my one-a-day upload at least. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys for news. We're going to get straight into the recap, starting with Wizards, Sixers. Wizards couldn't execute offensively. The Sixers were missing shot after shot. I guess the Sixers are a really good defensive team, but on the offensive side, the Wizards could not get it done when they got stops. They couldn't execute. They couldn't, what do you call that? Capitalize. They couldn't capitalize off of defensive stops, and Sixers take game one. Now, there was an out of bounds call at the end of the game against Westbrook. It was a little controversial. I don't know where my phone is. I might have to go get that. Let me be back. I'll be back. Put it somewhere over here. My fault, guys. Dude, what happened? Oh, there it is. It's under my notes. But yeah, looking at this one. Harris, man. Tobias Harris. Beast. Straight up beast. Let me tell you. For the Wizards, though, Westbrook had 16 points, 14 assists. Beal had 33 points, 10 rebounds. Westbrook should probably do a little more. I don't expect a whole lot more. They were really close to winning this game, but yeah. For the Sixers, Harris had 37, and Embiid had 30. But Ben Simmons had 15 assists and 15 rebounds. That's an X-Factor type of performance right there. He's not necessarily an X-Factor because he is their second option. But man, oh man, great team game great way to contribute for the team, for Simmons, if that makes sense. Next, we are going to go with Suns, Lakers. Lakers fans were real confident that the Lakers would come in here and sweep the Suns. Nope. D-Book's never been in a playoff game until today. He proved to y'all just how clutch and how much of a how much Mamba mentality that man has. Man, D-Book, man. He's a freaking dog. Suns take game one. I was surprised myself, but man, I can't really be that surprised when D-Book's on the Suns. Like, he just kills it in his playoff debut. He probably had he probably didn't even have the first playoff game jitters. I don't know, man. Looking at the Lakers side, they struggled. LeBron James was the only guy that even put up a semi-decent game with 18 points and 10 assists. On the other side, for the Suns, Ayton had 21 and 16. Man, he's a beast. He did that going against guys like, who did they have on their lineup here? Crap, it's the wrong game. Who's he going up against? Like Drummond, he was going up against Montrez. Maybe occasionally Anthony Davis. He was going up against some really good big men. And he still put up that. D-Book had 34 points. Great stuff there. Congratulations to the Suns on winning their first playoff game back in a long time. I don't remember how long it was, by the way. But, yeah. What else? TRAE Young, game winner. Game-winning floater, ice tray. They were screaming F TRAE Young in the freaking stands, and he had to shut them up, and he had to humble this Cinderella story of a Knicks team who have been really hot as of late. He had to shut them up real quick. TRAE Young, good for him, man, giving the Hawks a win when really a lot of people thought that the Knicks would have pulled this off. And so, yeah, looking at the Knicks side, though, Randall and RJ, you can say they slightly underperformed, especially because they're in the playoffs, but I don't think they played necessarily bad. Randall had 15 and 12. RJ had 14 and 11. Alec Burks, man, that's an X Factor player. Talk about an X Factor player. 27 points off the freaking bench. Man, he might be a better bench player than D Rose now that we're looking at it. I mean, he's not as consistent, but dude, when his highs are high, he has high highs, man. Great game for him. Hawks, obviously, TRAE Young had 32 points and 10 assists. I wouldn't say he carried him, but he was a really, really big piece, the biggest piece. And he also had the game-winning floater, which he's really good at floaters. He's undersized, so he's got to kind of either float it or lob it. And he's really good at that, so shout out to TRAE Young for getting the Hawks the win. The last game of the night was Grizzlies and Jazz, in a game that I thought the Jazz could have won, but when Dillon Brooks is winning on offense and defense, you can't really beat the Grizzlies. When Brooks has a good games offensively, it's hard to beat the Grizzlies. Like, he's a really inconsistent player, but when he goes off on offense, the Grizzlies are, it seems like they don't really lose games when he does that. Beast mode, man. They pull it off. Game 1, Grizzlies going from the play-in to winning Game 1 of their series. Going from nearing elimination to the Warriors and Curry and, man, Ja Morant. Shout out to Ja Morant, man. He's got some ice in his veins there. He's helping this organization a lot get through these playoff games. It's going to be very entertaining to watch him in this series. I don't think they're going to make it past the second round if they win this series, but it'll be interesting to see how they win or lose this series. Jazz, Bogdanovich put up a humble little 29 points. Gobert at 11 and 15. Conley had 22 and 11, and Favors at 12 and 11 off the bench. Favors is starting to become a reliable center off the bench for the Jazz. And they had a lot of good performers. It's just when Dillon Brooks is scoring well, and, Ja is scoring decently well, the Grizzlies are just really good. And, looking at the Grizzlies side, Dillon Brooks had a nice little 31-point game in Game 1 here. And Valanciunas had 15 and 12. That is per usual for him. And Ja Morant put up 26 points. I mean, shout out to him. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hater, but he still hasn't quite proven to me that he deserves to be a top-tier point guard. I don't have him in the top 10 quite, but he might get there. We might do like a top players of the playoffs or something like that. I don't know. We could do that. And count like the play-in and stuff. Maybe. We'll see. We could possibly count the play-ins and all that. But yeah. Bogdanovich had a chance to tie the game. I didn't realize that, actually. I forgot about that, actually. And he couldn't. Tough loss for the Jazz, but they can always bounce back and win the next one. Jordan Clarkson didn't play his best game as the 6th man of the year. Yes, I said it. It's pretty obvious who should win that award. Yeah, that's really all for tonight. We'll see what is going on. What 2 games are on Monday? We only have 2 games tomorrow. Oh, Heat and Bucks. That's going to be a great one. We'll see if Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo can bounce back from some pretty poor performances in Game 1. Blazers Nuggets. I mean, we'll see if the Blazers' dominant offense can continue to put it on to the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets aren't playing bad. It's just that Blazers offense is nearly unstoppable with 3 amazing scorers on the court and 3J, Norman, and Dame. And obviously Nurkic is a good center. They got Cantor off the bench. They might be pretty happy that they traded Gary Trent for Norman Powell, a very underrated and most improved candidate. I don't think he was a candidate in the NBA's eyes, but to me, he definitely was. Instead of looking at the playoff picture, we'll look at like the biggest surprises today. I mean, Hawks beating the Knicks. I really thought that Julius and RJ would have went out there and won that freaking game, but it's whatever. They can always bounce back. The Hawks aren't going to have an amazing 4 straight games to sweep. It's not going to happen. I predicted this is going to be a 7-game series, and I stand by that. Yeah. Grizzlies beating the Jazz. The Warriors, if the Warriors were in it, I think I had them winning in 6 or 7. But now that the Grizzlies are in it, I think the Jazz could win in like 7, to be honest. The Jazz just need to kind of recuperate, get back together, form a game plan to stop Dillon Brooks, and kind of hope he has a bad game offensively next game. I feel like the Grizzlies' success is riding on if Dillon Brooks is good offensively or not. And if he's not good offensively, Ja Morant has to be exceptionally good on offense, like he did against the Warriors. Lakers and Suns, realistically, I have the Lakers winning in like 6 or 7, but I don't know, man. Devin Booker, he's a beast. Watch out for him. That's a player to watch out for in the West, to be honest. Sixers, Wizards. I think the Wizards could easily take this game to 5 to 7 games. I definitely think they'll win a game, at least. They could take it to 6. They could take it to 7. Who knows? And, yeah, that's going to be the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are getting some information about the NBA as we get closer and closer to the chip. Each of the 16 teams are trying to fight their way, and it's been a really entertaining playoffs this year. So hopefully you guys are tuning into the games, and if not, you're coming here after they're all done and watching my recaps. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Have a great night. I will see you guys tomorrow night after the 2 Game 2s. It's been GZTV, and I'm out.